welcome back to another movie review. Today we are reviewing Napoleon. Napoleon is the new-ish movie that's come out. I guess it's been released by Apple, but it's not officially on Apple's streaming service just yet. It's in cinemas on like a limited release, similar to Flowers of the Moon, Killers of the Flowers of the Moon. That's the same type of thing. It's on Apple now, but it's been in cinemas before. Anyways, Napoleon stars Joaquin Phoenix, obviously. Joker, Beau is Afraid that I saw him in this year. There was another one that he was in which I am yet to see. I'm just trying to look on my shelf to see if I can see it. It's like a black and white film. I think it was Oscars and all that. Anyways, Joaquin Phoenix, big actor obviously, and he is playing Napoleon himself in the movie. Now it has been a while since I have saw this film, but I'm trying to catch up on some videos and all of that jazz. You know how it is recently. I've been slowly getting back into it, but yeah. So it's directed by Ridley Scott. Now, Ridley Scott is well known for doing massive movies like Gladiator, The Martian, Alien, a lot of big films, and then some of his newer stuff like House of Gucci as well recently. Big director, obviously Apple putting the money behind it. Anyways, how did it go? So, as I say, starring Joaquin Phoenix, he was playing Napoleon Bonaparte. We also get Vanessa Kirby in the film. Now, Vanessa Kirby has been in things like Fast and Furious, and she played the younger version of Princess Margaret in The Crown on Netflix. Yeah, really great castings there. I think they had good chemistry, the pair of them. Now, Joaquin Phoenix is actually like a lot older than her, I believe. But it is what it is. I think it's the age of them does look very different in this film, in my opinion. So I'm not sure in terms of Napoleon and the character she was playing, which I think was Margaret. Margaret was the one on Netflix. I can't remember the name of the one she was playing. Josephine, that was it. My Dearest Josephine. Yeah, so it was very much like a love story. I'm not gonna lie, but it did feel very similar to how I thought when I watched Elvis. Now, if you didn't know, biopic movies and all that, like obviously about people's lives, are very different films. Especially things like Bohemian Rhapsody, Rocket Man, and Elvis. Those films are more modern day, whereas obviously Napoleon is very much set way back in the 1800s, early 1900s, or whatever it was. It's set in the time of Les Mis, basically. The whole French Revolution and all that, and Napoleon himself becomes the Emperor of France. Like, even that title of Emperor, like, just reminds me of Star Wars. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just very like, kings and queens and all that type of vibes. But Napoleon has come out though, and what might think of it? As I say, very similar to things like Elvis. The difference between Elvis and Rocket Man, I've said this before on the channel, but Rocket Man's got a very different way of telling the story. It uses the songs to tell the story rather than use like a bit of this is what happened on this date and this is what happened on this date, and that's very much what happened in the Elvis movie. It was very much like this is what happens day in day out. And I think they just tried to squeeze too much into it, and I got the same type of feelings from this film, Napoleon. Very much just felt like we're going from this scene to this scene with this scene. We're trying to fit so much into his life, which obviously people do have a chaotic life. This was a 3-hour film, but I just think sometimes I don't know why they make films of these things. They either focus on one specific area, like Elton John, for instance. That movie Rocket Man went up as far as like 99. Like, it ended the I'm Still Standing era, like when he just got sober and stuff. Like, it stopped there. It didn't do any of like the AIDS stuff and all the big stuff that he's done. But the Elvis film obviously told it the story of when he was a kid, and then obviously when he passed. So like, I feel like sometimes these biopic films try and do too much, and I think Napoleon was one of those. It gave me that vibe. It felt like it was just going, like, they made one scene and then, okay, that scene's done, let's go to the next scene, make that scene, go to the next one, and just shift it all along, and then all of a sudden then we need to just put these scenes all together and make the film. And it didn't really flow in from one scene into another, in my opinion. Some of the good things in there was like the costumes and stuff. Obviously, like, he had this massive hat thing on. Obviously the old like the battle scenes and stuff, the amount of extras that they had there, all the costumes of all of those. Obviously there was like a beheading as well, so like the actual like graphical value of that as well I thought was really good. But yeah, there's just a lot going on in the film. So there's some good aspects to it, but there's also just story plot wise just doesn't really land. So I did land my review actually at 2.5 stars, smack in the middle. Nothing fantastic about it, but nothing terrible, nothing to be like, I probably would watch it again. Because I think I'm so split on it, and hence the score. I think I just needed to maybe like sit back, you know, give it a couple of weeks now, and then maybe when it comes out on Apple, I'll give it another go. But 2.5 stars. Maybe I'll revisit it early next year or something, and see if my opinion changes. But from when I saw it in the cinema, 2.5 star. Had some really good stuff, but at the same time, had some very messed up stuff, in my opinion. So, a tale of two halves, you could say. So yes, there it is. There is my review of Napoleon, directed by Ridley Scott. Obviously, it is coming out on Apple very, very soon. I think probably early 2024 now. It'll probably be on Apple TV+. But it is still in cinemas at the moment, so if you want to go and see it, please do, obviously. I don't get paid for saying that. I wish I did. Cineworld, sponsor me. Anyways, Napoleon, thanks so much for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more videos coming soon. I am literally uploading 1 of 3 today, so stay tuned for that. I have a list. I have a list of things that I need to do, so we are here filming more videos. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for more, as I say. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.